2022 was a disastrous year for Disney. Despite the fact that they tried to make it look like everything was fine, like everything was normal, there was nothing wrong, despite the fact that their stock crashed. The worst stock year in nearly 50 years, half a century for Disney. Box office disappointments everywhere, losing billions of dollars on streaming. And now they finally had to admit that all of this is unsustainable. Disney, for the last several months, has been through a period of layoffs. They fired over 7,000 people in the past few weeks to desperately try to cut costs. And now it looks like they're finally done for now. Later in the summer, there could be more, though. There's fair warning. Tragic Kingdom, Disney completed 7,000 layoff goal ahead of Memorial Day weekend. Well, that's good. At least the people that you laid off because you decided to go all in on identity politics, at least those people were able to spend Memorial Day with their families. Congratulations. Disney completed its third round of mass layoffs last Friday ahead of Memorial Day holiday weekend, with no fairy tale ending for 7,000 workers sent to the exits at the besieged company. Variety confirmed the target was to conclude these company-wide layoffs, which focused most heavily on the media divisions and left the parks untouched ahead of the busy summer season. They cut over 3% of their total workforce and are part of Disney's efforts to achieve about $5.5 billion in cost savings. And they need to. What else did they recently do? They just announced this a few days ago, that all those things are removed from Disney Plus, all the different shows and series and movies that were failing on Disney Plus and on Hulu, they removed them to desperately try to save, again, $1.5 billion. Disney will take $1.5 billion content write-off charge in June quarter after pulling dozens of titles from streaming services. Mouse House says it could incur an additional $400 million charge for TV and movie removals. They're not even done with that stuff yet, because as we've pointed out time after time, the Disney Plus method is not working. It's not making money for them. It's been losing $1 billion or more nearly every single quarter. And with 4 million subscribers fleeing just last quarter, they had to do something. Out of desperation, they decided to take down all of this content because it's more valuable to them as a tax write-off than it is on the platform. That's how sad and pathetic it is. And even something like Pixar was affected. We talked about this the other day. Some of these layoffs included Pixar employees. I think 75 people at Pixar maybe. And that's huge because for a long time, Pixar was the cash cow. Pixar was the moneymaker. Everything would slap. Everything was a banger for them when it came from Pixar. That certainly has not been the case. And now some of the people directly involved with Lightyear are now gone from the company. Almost no one and nothing was safe when it came to these layoffs. And we'll see how it goes for Disney the rest of the year. We'll see if cutting all of these costs on the streaming service, we'll see if firing 7,000 people is enough for them. Because quite frankly, there's just more bad news on the way. We've talked about Little Mermaid, the fact that this movie is going to have a tough time even thinking about breaking even. And specifically when it comes to Pixar, there's even worse news on the horizon. If you thought Lightyear was a bad opening, bad box office run, just wait, because Elemental, their next movie, is also projected to be a total box office flop. There is no good news at this point in time when it comes to Disney. Oh, of course, what else is coming out? That's right, Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, projected to flop and lose money. What's coming out this winter? Oh, that's right, The Marvels. How do you think that one's going to do? Disney is they're taking desperate measures right now. That's the reality. That's what we've seen with all these layoffs, with all these cost-cutting measures, because they have done this to themselves. They tried to pretend like everything was fine. They tried to pretend like they could prioritize identity politics and woke agenda instead of entertaining people. And this is what they got. The fans walked away in droves, and now Disney is scrambling. So it doesn't look like they're going to lose money. Even though the reality is they have been losing money. They continue to lose money, and they're in desperate need of cutting costs. This continues to get worse for Disney. We'll see if these efforts actually have an effect.